AI can help us refine an email, formulate an email, draft an email. It can do sentiment analysis. So it can actually, I write up an email and it'll tell me this is neutral, this is professional, this is cheerful, this is depressing, So it's interesting to get that feedback. In fact, some of the tools, including like grammar checking tools, some of the fancier ones, they give you sentiment analysis feedback. So the question is related to now, if I use one of these tools, such as ChatGPT or one of its many offshoots, which are already out there, many language models, and it fixes it for me, changes it from slightly serious, depressing, and boring to neutral and positive. Is that really changed the vibration? And or what has happened to that original frustrating energy that I had put into my email? Okay. So that's going to open up a whole set of topics, but which is all really fascinating if you ask me, because technology and tools, they can help. And like any powerful tool, they can also obscure and confuse. So, for example, sentiment analysis can be very good feedback. It's almost like, it's not quite biofeedback, but it's feedback of something I just wrote up. And it gives an assessment of that. So it's a good feedback that I can get. And ideally, that makes me introspect and become more self-aware that, oh, I didn't realize I'm coming across that way. Let me become more aware of my vibration, my energy, and of course, my language. And that is wonderful because now I might rephrase, tweak, not only the language, but my emotional state, my vibration, and maybe, as is common, maybe I was very mental when I drafted that email. And now I can actually put some true feeling and true goodwill and heart into that. So it could remind me of that I wrote it as a cold, impersonal being. But now let me infuse some feeling and love and care and compassion into it. So this is all good stuff because it gives me a sense of maybe areas where I was missing out and just trying to get things done and move on to the next task on my list, which is pretty typical. Where it gets tricky is I can actually ask some of these tools to rephrase it for me and make it slightly more, let's say, positive and let's say more inspirational. And this is also actually quite okay if I'm now going to review it and actually feel into it rather than just say, it did a good job, let me send it out. I'm still stuck in my old frustrating, angry, mental, cold state. If I use that new formulation to, first of all, myself shift my vibration. This is, of course, on me. The ChatGPT cannot do this for me, unfortunately. I have to shift my own vibration, get in touch with my own feelings, recalibrate. Now, actually feel that inspiration and goodwill, and now I click on send. I think this is the more desirable use of AI tools, which rephrase things for you. Or sometimes even they can draft it from scratch. Now, increasingly, I think you're going to see that, where it can read a whole thread of conversation, and you can give it just the gist of what you want to say, and it'll draft a more complete email response. It'll do that for you. So these kinds of things are going to become common. When you choose light, life becomes increasingly joyful, purposeful, and inspired. I invite you to join me to explore the realms of light, the infinite possibilities that light offers.